crash kit, c'est à cause de moi.
Tu as fait quoi?
Je lui ai mis 2 palettes à la chaîne.
Oh, bah, moi aussi j'en ai mis des palettes, hein, t'inquiète. Ah, tiens.
Oh, clipping them, clipping them, clipping that, clipping that, clipping that.
Hello, Andu. Welcome, Absalon. Welcome. How are you doing? I considered leaving my model there, so I left her here. You can still bunk her. She's bunkable. Welcome everyone. Welcome. I probably sound really weird. I'm wearing a mask. You guys are doing okay though. Hi, welcome. Yeah, 1 second. I'm fixing the camera. Yeah, I'm cosplaying a maid today. Hi, hello. Look, I'm a maid. Well, I can't really see much. The background is really bad, so ignore the background. Yeah, I have it made now. It's so cute. I really like it. I had to make it smaller though. The dress is still so big. I'm also ready to cook. Look at this. I prepared rice. I didn't prepare rice. My sister did. I pretended I prepared it. I didn't do anything. I also cleaned, but it doesn't look like I cleaned because I didn't clean actually. But it looked pretended I cleaned. Okay. Hi Scarlett. Welcome. How are you doing? Yeah. Do you want a little face reveal? Do you want to see my face right now? Oh, thank you! Do you want a little pic of my face? I'm gonna show you. Hello. Hi. Oh, so creepy! Oh my god, I hate this mask so much! My sister gifted it to me. No, I'm not. I'm gonna make the omurice for you though. Do you like my face? This is Momo. She's losing hair a little bit, so I hope there's not gonna be hair in the food. I prepared ketchup It looks bad, but it's ketchup. Ketchup. I swear this is ketchup. There was reasons for this that I won't say out loud, but this is ketchup. This is ketchup. Don't question it. This is ketchup. It's fine. This is what we're drawn with. That was her idea actually. So yeah. Yeah, I realized I didn't have a bottle very late. So I had to improvise. It's okay, I'll just cut. You know how they decorate cakes? You just cut a little corner and then you just squeeze. I think that should work. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah. No, the ketchup I had like a packet, so. What happens, Bill? How are you doing? No, it was a shop. It was a normal shop bought ketchup. But we never buy ketchup in a bottle. We buy ketchup in a little pocket. So so it's like that now. I know it looks like drugs, but I swear it's ketchup. It's okay. Let's just break some eggs. Also, it's gonna like take what 10 minutes to cook this, so after that we're doing the diamond painting because I prepared it. This mask is better than the other two, at least I can see in this one. Look, I'm doing my best. Look how good I am at breaking eggs. You should be proud of me. Ugh, it's so sticky. I don't know, blood. I just never leave my house. Also, I think it's the lighting in the camera as well. When I say I never leave my house, I say it. I say it honestly. It's not a joke. Hi Shira, welcome! How are you doing? I keep forgetting that you can see my hands, so every time I do something weird with my hands, you probably can see it. Hi Ghost Levi, welcome! We're cooking omurice. And this is ketchup. This is ketchup. Don't worry. This thing is falling. I also think it's just eggs. And then salt. Look like it's salty. It's a little flower that has salt in it. Hi Zig, welcome! How are you doing? Look, I'm making omelette rice. For you to see and for me to eat. Although everything is shaking when I do this. I don't know if the background music on, I can't hear it. I hope you can hear it. And I hope it's not too loud.
Oh shit!
Hi Gwindal! How are you doing? Oh, look.
Someone keep me on stream.
I would like to if I could. I don't know if you wanted though. So I could. I was also supposed to write on the omelette, right? But this is what we're working with, so I'm not promising any good writing. But I'll try. Also, this is my Coke. Ignore that. Is that enough? How much do you need to beat the egg? I'll just beat it a bit more. Do you hear the music? I hope you hear the music, because I'm sitting here in silence beating the egg. And everything is shaking. That's enough, right? It doesn't need to be like super big. Thank you! I did myself. I'm actually still learning. Some of them are fucked up a little bit. But they're like getting there. It's okay, on the camera you can see the bad things, so it's fine. Wait, you actually can't hear the music? Or are you saying that so I feel that I forgot the music? Okay, that should be enough. Enough salt. I know how much salt you need. Is there salt? I think so. Is it falling? I can't tell. I think it's falling. Is that salt? Yeah, probably. I know how much you need. I don't even know how much just fell. Thank you! I'm trying my best to learn to make nails like good. So I don't have to go anywhere to make them, to do them. So I can do whatever I want with them. Yeah, learning is hard. Okay, good. You can hear the music. That's fine. Was that too much salt? Wait, should I lick it? Wait, let me lick it. Oh my god. You probably shouldn't lick raw eggs. It's salty enough, I think. It's fine, it's not too salty, it's fine. Don't worry. I really want to learn how to do the charms. Oh my god, if you can send a picture, that would be cool. I'd like to see. You can send in the Discord if you'd like to share it. I really want to learn how to do charms as well. I feel like charms is like next level for me. Is that it? Do I just cook it now and then put it on top? So the rice is already ready. Also, if you missed my mask, I'll show you again. Just so everyone knows what I look like. Hi. Hello. I also have the little Maid thing. Oh, over here, wherever it is. There. On my head. Go down. Okay. I don't know, she's like... Wasn't she a meme or a monster? I don't know. She's like Slenderman, right? Is she? I don't know actually. she's really... Just Google her, she's creepy. Sorry. That mask sits on my kitchen table. So every time I go to drink water at night or like whatever, drink my Coke, she's there looking at me. Okay, I think I need to go cook it now. So that was my problem with omu rice. I would have to leave now. So you would have to stay here and listen to the music while I'm gone. Good luck. I'll be back. I'll cook it and I'll come back. I'll be back.
Please tell me you found. He did.
It scares me every time I fucking whip it out real fast and it explodes in my hand.
I'm back, I made it! Eh. Is Vine not working? Wait, sorry. Sorry. I'm gonna fix it. Fixing it. Hi, Hipster, welcome! How are you doing? Look, I made the omelette part. Eh. I have a hair in my mouth and I don't think it's mine. I think it's a mask's. Yes, what question? What question? Thanks! Look, I can cook omelette. Now just put it on top, right? Don't put ketchup first. I forgot the scissors. Wait. Yeah. It's a hair in my mouth. Okay, I fixed it. It's my left. It's my left. Why? Do you see the mirrored version? You'll probably see the mirrored version. I don't know why. I don't know if I can fix it. Can I fix it? Is it? Do you see the mirrored version? I don't know actually. I'm gonna go bring scissors real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah.
Damn it. No! I didn't even see him recently. No! I'm a fucking dumbass!
Quiet scissors. No, it's not. Oh, okay. Then you see it properly, I guess. Why don't it? Alright. I think I should put some ketchup on the rice so it won't be too dry, right? Don't worry. I'm prepared for everything. It's fine. Don't worry. I got it. Now I cut. Wait, is that too much? I may not. We'll see. It kind of works. Look. Ketchup. And now put the egg on top, right? Go back up. Okay, it works! Now I write something. What do I write? Quick, quick! What do I write? What do I write? Wait, I'm inspired. I'm inspired. Go down. Ah, too much down. This is really hard. How does he write it with a ketchup? Ta-da! Do you like it? Wait, you can't make me do a drawing. Do you think I can draw with that? No, it's not a boob. It's not a boob. It's a boob. There, I fixed it. Oh wait. There. Now you can see it properly, right? I have so much hair in my mouth. Stupid mask has so much hair. No, it's a boob. Only one because the second one didn't fit in. The S didn't fit in, so it's only one of them. So what do you usually write on those things? Now you can eat it. Enjoy, enjoy. Also, the rice wasn't mine, so you don't have to worry about it. I didn't cook the rice. The rice was my sister's, so it's fine. It's probably edible. Hi Shakespeare, welcome. How are you doing? Oh, something just fell. It's okay. It's fine. You don't need a heart shape. You've seen a heart shape a bunch of times. Have you ever seen boob on a omo rice? I don't think so. Maybe you actually have. But that's okay. That would be your second time then. No, the rice is edible. I actually ate it. I had bread for breakfast. No. But you can look at it. Actually, I should take a picture probably. Maybe later. But yeah, we're done. Okay, bye. No, I actually have a diamond painting to do right now. See, that's why I didn't know. It took like what, 20 minutes to finish this? It took so little. I guess I could have cooked rice, but then you would have sit here in the silence because the rice has to be cooked on the stove. I can't even like prepare stuff in here. At least for this I could prepare eggs for you in here. That's why I prepared my diamond painting. I also need to drink. I now have a cup with a lid on it because I keep keep turning it over every time. Well, I'll leave it here. Pretend that you've eaten it, okay? So that hand's been there since Halloween. It's just a forever prop now. Just enjoy it. I'm not hungry actually. I just ate before the stream. I also want to take a picture of it. If I eat it now, I won't take a picture. Yeah, you can eat it mentally. Just pretend you've eaten it, okay? I put my heart into it, and apparently my boob as well. So yeah, enjoy. I'll bring the diamond things. They're right here, so I'm gonna leave them. Look at this. I came prepared. Stay. Oh, I just hit the table. There's not enough space, I think. It's gonna be hard with the mask, but that's fine. Look at my... I actually started a little bit just to see how it works. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't a lot of fun. I actually got so bored. So we're doing it on stream. No, I didn't put it on it. I put it in it. I put... My boob soul is in it, okay? So we're doing this. I don't know if I need this instruction. It came with it. Now it has ketchup in it. It's fine. I started with white, so I think we can continue the white things. I should have written poop. You're right. You're so right. Oh my god. Missed opportunity. Where have you been 5 minutes ago when I was writing? But too late now. Okay. This is fine. I learned how to do it. I watched so many TikToks about this. Would you rather eat the poop omurice or boob omurice? I feel like boob is a little more tasty than the poop. Yeah, this is my recent obsession. I've been obsessed. I read all the books and I was like, I'm obsessed now. I have no way back. I'm done. Remember how I said I'm reading books at night and now I can, that's why I'm late? That was the book. That's the book that killed me. So now I'm making this picture because I want to put it on my wall. How do I open this? This is heaven official blessing. Did I don't know why there's like one black diamond thing here. I don't know where it came from. Is it black? I can't tell. I don't know which number it is. I don't know where it came from. I'll just put it here for now. Look, we're gonna make this. It's gonna be so pretty on my wall. You just have to stay here and watch me doing this. While the boob is on the background. I think I need to cut this like a little square from here. I don't know how much they. Press on it. Was that enough? It wasn't enough. I think this knife might be bad. Oh, it is? Kind of not? I can't tell what I'm doing. Oh my god. Is it working? Where did I cut? I can't tell. I just hit the mic, sorry. Just live with that. I can't even see. Well, that's fine. I don't need to see. My face is getting sweaty in this mask. It's fine. This is working. I think I can't tell where it's ended. I can't tell where like. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We just keep going with this. How to open this thing now? Yeah. Open up! I opened it. Then you stub it. That's what I learned from TikToks. And then you start doing this until they're all like straight. One of them fell off. And then they stick! This is magic! You see it stick? I keep forgetting where camera is. And then you glue it. One. See, this is fun. We're gonna spend so much time doing this now. Enjoy. It's like watching someone draw, but more boring. Pretend it's an art stream, okay? I'm gonna make it today, it's fine. You can pretend it's ASMR stream. I don't think you can hear any sounds from it. Whenever I watch like TikTok stuff, it's always like such a loud sound. But this thing doesn't make sound. I don't know how they make it sound so loud when they do it. I don't know what kind of glue they use that it sounds so loud. Hi Penguin, welcome. How are you doing? Oh my god, my maid outfit is all over the place. Do you see the weird mask side whenever I lean? It's not gonna make it. It's gonna be so pretty. Pretend it's an art stream. That's fine. Ta-da! I'm already bored. How do people do that for hours? It's fine. Maybe when I change colors, it's gonna be more fun. You know, maybe white is just boring. Maybe when I go to red, it's gonna be more fun. Surely. congrats on the streak! Congrats! But imagine if I finish this whole painting today. Wouldn't you be proud of me? It's 40 on 50. Whatever that means. It's a big painting, okay? It's giant. I only finished this little square, so I'm gonna be stuck here for a while. It's okay. Let's just think about life together and our life choices. What have I done to get to this point of my life? Yeah, 30 by 40. Wait, oh, you haven't finished it? No. No, I feel like that will happen to me too. It's okay, if I don't finish it, maybe my sister will. I will just ask her to do this. She likes this kind of things. This is so slow. My thought process was, if I do it on stream, I probably will finish it. Because I have nothing else to do. So if I don't finish it, it's your fault. Everyone's fault. But mine. Eh. But look on the bright side, when we switch colors, they're gonna be something different. Because it can't be my fault. You can blame me for stuff. I think white is a... There's a lot of white here. I also don't know what will it look like. Will it even look like the picture when I finish? Because it's gonna be like pixel painting, right? I wonder how much it will look actually like the real image. Or will it just look like two colors together? It's gonna be shiny. Yeah, it's sixfold, I agree. I've never done this before, so I'm curious. I also saw people doing like putting glue on it after that. I don't have any glue, so hopefully it won't break. I probably should buy glue after this. I think it's so the crystals don't fall. I don't know where's the... They still have glue. Are you having fun? I hope you do. Have fun right now. Also, did you know there's like professional things for this kind of stuff? Like they have professional equipment to do these things. How do people have so much patience to do this? It's worse than drawing. It takes longer than drawing. It's okay. We'll get through it together. Just, I don't know, work on something while I'm doing this. Pretend it's like a studying stream or whatever they do. I have it actually, wait, I do have the weird things, like, send me this as well. But they're a little weird. I feel like one by one is easier because some of the places is... I guess for white it would be fine. But also, I'm afraid I'm gonna make it crooked if I do it like that. So I don't know. But they did send me like 2 different heads as well. I don't know if that is supposed to be the right topper. I think it was just a holder. I don't know. But I'm using it as a thing that I'm picking it up with. We're just doing a POV stream. You working while your maid is doing the diamond paint. I'm dying. Wait, are you asking about the picture? No, it's not anime, Jesus. Oh, kinda, yeah, actually, no, you're right. Kinda, yeah. If you think about it. It's so hot. These masks' hair are everywhere in my face. How are they even going in my face? They're in front of the mask. Turn around. I cannot see the... But I didn't... Okay. This is this line. This is relaxing, right? Are you relaxing? I hope you're relaxing. Relax right now if you don't. It's supposed to be satisfying. I hope you're satisfied. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna mess it up. How would I? I just need to make sure that I only put the whites on the whites. Which I think I'm doing right now. I don't know which one. I should have done what I did in the videos. They like put the other colored paper on top, so you know where it's like where, so it's not transparent and you know where it is. Because I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I need to get rid of this while it's clear as well. Scared to ruin the painting. Hey dude. Thank you for the hydration, thank you. I need to hydrate. Oh my god, I'm dying. When you're not wearing this mask, look at this. This is what I see. I can see so much better without it. Oh, you didn't see the face mask? Wait, let me show you. Hello. Do you like it? You're not allowed not to like it, so just so you know. Okay, move. Thank you. Thank you. It's very close to my real face, so you don't really need a face reveal. You can just look at the mask and know what I look like. I'm like as beautiful as this mask. Okay, keep going. Keep going. White. How long can the glue stay? Because I need these parts, right? But there's so many of different colors in this little square. So I don't know. Will it stay liquid, sticky? While I'm doing the other parts? Oh. Hopefully it will. Oh my god, go! I'm not gonna finish it. No! This is mine! I saw you! No. No, it's mine. No, no, it's mine. You don't need this. No. 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 It's fine. Maybe my painting will be a little hairy. It's okay. I wonder if they put more diamonds that I need. Because imagine if I lose one. Will that mean I won't have like one diamond to fill in the spot? Hopefully they put more than needed, right? They probably did. I hope they did. Because I feel like I lost like 5 at least. It's like playing Minecraft. You just build out of blocks. But instead of blocks it's diamonds. And it's really big. Yeah. So relaxing. I love my life. Oh yeah, I made an omelette with a boob. You can look at it, but you can't have it, sorry. I wish you could, but you can't. I think it's a little crooked. Move. No, move. Okay, it's fine, I moved it. Not crooked anymore. Present. See, I can't tell the end of the sticky part. That's the biggest problem. And how long have been? It's haven't even been an hour. It's fine. I'll probably finish the whole painting today, right? fine. At least I didn't buy the sewing stuff. I could have bought the one that you have to sew in. That would have been worse. At least this one you just have to glue things in. Because it had an option. And I thought, no, maybe that's too much effort. Ah. ASMR. Yeah. I need more. No. Let's see how much. There's 12 gram in it. I don't know how much it is. I like how it's reflecting the light. Well, you can see the oh, it's still sticky. You can see the important part, so it's fine. Stick. Stick. I'm gonna go crazy. This is so repetitive. Maybe next time I'll do the number painting instead. I feel like that would be faster. Well, if you look on the bright side, this corner is almost done. Do you use the mask when I do this? It's probably so creepy looking. Ah! Everyone's jumped. No. Oh, my back's tired. Wait, it's supposed to be ASMR, I shouldn't scream. My back's tired. Sorry. Yeah. Little break. Drink break. Yes, enjoy. Make some tea. Big light, welcome. Yeah, it's okay. I'll eat it later. No, why? No, 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 no. Go, go. Your butt is in a frame. Move. Move. Hello. That's where my cup was standing. Fine. Let's put it here. Why are you both here? No! Also enjoy it, see Invincible, enjoy. This is terrifying. This is gonna go bad really fast. What do you need? They don't even eat this food. Okay. Menace number 1 is gone. No! Why are you here? Go. You don't eat this. There's nothing tasty for you in there. Oh. They just fought. Are they fighting again? No, they left. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think they like ketchup anyway. I think usually if there's ketchup or like some weird stuff on food, they won't lick it. Hopefully they didn't lick it. Maybe they did, it's fine. Sometimes it's better not to know what they licked. Relaxing. Relaxation. Oh my god. Can you turn around? How does it do it? Whenever I watch TikTok, they like do this, they shake it, and everything turns around. And that doesn't work for me. Or like, okay, this time it worked, but before that it didn't work, okay? This is the first time it actually worked. I hear my sister walking. Do you wanna try my omelet? Hey! Oh, she ignored me. Oh, it's fine. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine. Hey! Sister! You wanna try my omelet? Why are you laughing? Why? Stop! fine. If you don't wanna. Keep laughing. I'm gonna try it. Wait, can I take a picture first? My phone is busy, sorry. Take a pretty picture. Yeah, it's fine. No. It's a little cold now. Is it good? Is it good?
Oh, it's hard to ruin the. But the rice is good.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. How much out of 10?
The rice is like 10 out of 10. Like the 4.
No.
Try it.
It's so good! I'm so good! I'm a genius! I want the best food ever.
Don't look at me with that much.
Goodbye. This is so quick. See, that was the best omelette ever. I told you, it's really good. It's also cold now though. I feel like it might have been better when it didn't get cold yet, but it's fine. I'm still on white. I wanna go to red now. But the red has so much, not only red. Yeah, I feel like I should stick to white for now. At least this whole area is white most of the time. I wonder how long will the glue stay sticky if I just remove the whole protection layer? Will it just dry out quickly or no? Okay. Look, this whole area is done! It's so cool! It's nice to touch. Should go up here. I probably should go up here. It was white. I'm gonna do this little board though. It has. Here's 8. It has 8, 4, S, U, and A. And N. It has so much colors in it. Why? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. What does 8 look like? How do I even know which one it is? 8. Eight is 317. Wait, no. 8 is 8? Let's just look for number 8. Oh my god. There's so many colors. This is 7. This is 8. So the gray is 8. I need a little bit. I need like 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7 or 8. 4. I think there was one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's perfect. I'm just so good. Two. What are you doing? Okay, nothing. Wrong way. Go back. Okay. What? Hi, Farmers, welcome. How are you doing? Yes, it does. It was, I needed to write something quick. That was the only word I could think of at the moment. It's okay. It's a nice omurice with boob on it. Okay, now I need U, A, 3, U, A, U, E, N. Oh my god, there's so many random ones. Okay, I think U is like at least a few times here, so. U is. Which number is U? I'm so blind. It's 27. 26, 27. Found it. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like purplish. A little break. I'm dying. This mask is killing me. What's a Jersey Mike? Is that the person? Is that the place? What is it? Okay. Break is done. Stupid hair. The worst part about this mask is hair. Kinda wish she was bald. I literally need what? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 of these. There's probably a more efficient way of doing this, but I don't know it. Oh, this stupid maid out there keep falling. Stop falling. Stay. Huh? Oh no, it has the... Oh no, some of them... Oh god, okay. It's fine. I fixed it. Okay, now A, 3A, 2 A's, and everything else is 1 by 1. A is 9. I need 9. 9. There's a little bit different gray. Hi bees, welcome! How are you doing? Yeah, the mask is uncomfortable, but it's so pretty, look. Look at this. It's so cute. How are you doing, bees? How many do I need? 2? Okay, 2. Turn around! A. A. Now it's 3. 3 is 3. 7, 6, 5, 4. I think I need 4 as well. 4, 3. Oh, 3 is pretty as well. Purple is grey. Oh no, sorry! Sorry, I missed the message. Eggs consumed my attention. Oh my god, it's perfect. I can use it. I can use nails for this. 3. Turn around. Turn around. Okay. 3 goes here. Stop! Stop! What are you doing? No! Why are you kicking it? Four. 104. This is gonna take a while. Just for this little corner. Why do you even need? What is this? What is this part? What is that supposed to be? Oh. I can't even tell the difference between all these grays. They all look the same to me. Maybe it's just too dark for me to see. But this one is so much fun! These ones are so much fun! Hi, I'm MHM, welcome! How are you doing? I like these masks. I mean, it's really uncomfortable, but that's fine. They look so cute. I need S, E, and N. Oh, it's S, it's not 5. S, E, N. S is 25. 22. 26. Here it is, 25. Stop! What are you doing? Please, fine. Thank you for the lyrics, bleed. Thank you for the lyrics, please. Thank you. I just connected every word I have in my mind. There was a bonk in there, there was a breeze in there. Is that S? It is S. And now E and N. E is 13 and N is 21. Oh, 13. This E. And N is 21. Seventeen, 20, and then it goes 33. Wow, there it is. 22, 21. One. Which one is this one? I have a random color. Yay! This corner is done! I hated this little thing. Whatever this is, I don't know why it's there. I don't know. Should have been art category. Is this art? Is this considered art? I guess so. I guess we're not chatting. It's mostly me freaking out. Should I change to art? Actually, Scarlett, could you change it? My mouse is under under a lot of things. Wait, are you able to change it? Okay, thanks. I'm going higher. Let's do this whole place. Okay, so this whole place we do now. Thank you. It worked. What is that though? What? What's the thing that I posted? Microsoft. Why did what? What is this? Why did you get a link? Oh well. Yes, there is a link. Don't click it probably. I don't know what it is. fine. Just let it be. Something on Microsoft. Okay, more white. More white! I want a bunch of white actually. We need mostly white. There's so much white. You didn't think so? You think they put more than needed? I hope they put more than needed, right? Because you could definitely lose a few while you're doing this. Like, I don't even know where this one came from. I have no idea what this one is. Now I don't know what number it is either. I guess I can compare it to others, but like, still. Some of them are very close in colors. It's really hard to tell the difference. Especially the grays. There's so many grays in here. I didn't even know it was different colors. Oh, it's starting to feel good after like it's a bigger portion. It's actually really nice. Maybe I might start liking it, you know? I can see how people can enjoy it, I guess. I kinda just want the final result. I guess if you spend your own time on it, it's gonna be better, maybe. Can you buy already made diamond paint? And just pretend that you made it? I would do that. Yeah, that would be a lot. They probably put more than you need, right? I think so. That makes sense if they do. I think they like put the specific, like they put more than you need and probably like even more than that. I'm guessing. There was also the ones that you can print your own picture on. That was really fun. Kinda wanted to do that. Just to print a really weird picture with poop or something. Maybe that would be next diamond painting. Maybe of myself. In a mask. Thank you! They're really cheap. I don't even remember where I got them. I just collect a bunch of trash. Then I have a bunch of weird rings. Oh my god. I think I need to change this thing. Can I just do it on top? Oh. Time to find out. Oh, it does work. Okay, if we can finish at least like this corner today, that would be so good. I think. I have no idea. I was like, yeah, I'll order a big one. Why not? It will look cool on my wall, right? And then I was like, then when it came and I saw the size of the diamonds, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do it in one stream. I don't think I'm even gonna make it in 1 month. Probably a lot. Probably a lot. I didn't think of consequences. I didn't realize it's gonna take so long. I thought it was a fun little thing like puzzles. I hate puzzles, so at least it's a little bit better because you don't need to look for specific puzzles. But then you have to look for colors. This is still better than puzzles, but I don't know. It is a little satisfying though when you see them all fill in. It gets a little better. Hopefully I can finish Elden Ring this week maybe? I won't be able to, but I just hope. Maybe. Maybe not. At least this one is doable, okay? I don't know about Elden Ring. At least in this one you just have to sit and stick stuff to it. I guess you can say the same thing about Elden Ring. My back is gonna hurt so much. Yeah. It's only been an hour and a half, and like first half I was cooking. Thank you, Formis! Thank you very much for all the subs! Thank you! Oh my god, thank you very much! Really appreciate that. Yeah, that's my only BGM music, sorry. We are on a quest to not go crazy! It's a medieval tavern music or something. I don't remember anymore. Ugh. I think I started doing it faster. Is it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just lost in time now. Yeah, I think we can make this corner at least today, and maybe even more. Ah. This is so tiresome. You have to have a lot of patience for these things. I will definitely not do it for relaxation though. I feel like I don't know how people do it for relaxation. This makes me stressed. Poke, stick, poke, stick, poke, stick, poke, stick, poke, poke, stick, poke. You just enjoy the relaxation. We're relaxing together. Break time. Time to drink. I know, I see it. It's okay, it's as terrifying as a front. Look, it has a little bows on it. I even brushed her hair before starting. I hope you appreciate my efforts. Sorry. Hi Zaiti, welcome. How are you doing? Oh my god, stupid hair! Poke. 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 Oh, enjoy food, enjoy food. My collection of masks actually is growing. I'm planning to put them all on the wall. I'm planning to make a wall of masks. I'm just gonna be buying masks every stream. Every handcam stream. And then I'll make a wall of weird masks that I have. I need to figure out what mask to get for Valentine's Day. But we definitely have to make cookies for Valentine's, right? Or like chocolate, maybe chocolate. Well, chocolate is kind of, it won't take too much, right? I don't know, we'll see. No light. Ooh, that sounds really good actually. Enjoy the burger and the curly fries and the mozies. open! Sorry, it's ASMR stream. It's relaxing stream. I'm not screaming. Enjoy the relaxation. This is so crooked. It's fine. At least you can move them a little bit, they're wiggly. So it's fine. It sounds so good though, I like it. Good night, have a good rest, MHL. Thank you for coming. Rest well. Poke. It goes like, I think it goes too deep inside the thing. It sounded weird without the context, but you know what I mean. That's why sometimes it doesn't stick. It's because I'm pushing too hard. Maybe if I don't push too hard, it's fine. I like the sound. Where's the end? Yeah. I should make the border first, so I know where the sticky part ends, and then after that I think I should fill it in. Ah, why are you connected? Speak. Poke. 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 Stick. Oh my gosh. Why? It was so loud, I could hear it through my headphones. I'm not even wearing the headphones. Thanks for the jump scare. Sorry if you actually were relaxing, but you probably shouldn't relax on this stream. This is not a relaxing stream at all. Which is stressful. Hi, Polychroma! Welcome! Yeah, sorry about the moment jump scare. Is Momo... Is that a video? Is she just a picture? I actually don't know what she is. I've seen her pictures before. Does she have a lore or something? I probably should have googled her, considering I was cosplaying her today. Is Momo a maid? That would be cool if she was. She originally was an image, okay. I see. Should I Google Momo's lore? Should we listen to it? Does she have a lore? Yeah, let me check. Oh my god, my mouse is so covered in all the beads and things. Yeah, we could listen to creepypasta while I'm doing this. Lore. Does she have any? It's like a 14 minutes video. That's it. Some Japanese guide made her. Oh, she was like a statue or something. Okay, you want to listen to the story behind Momo. 14 minutes video. Let me... Let me put the sound on. Is that the sound? And where's the BGM? I need to turn it off. Oh my god, where is the BGM? There. Oh, let me do something else. Okay. Sure.
Before I start, I want to...
Okay, that's so loud. Can you hear it? I don't know if I... Is there like different kind of lore? I feel like that's not exactly what I want. There's also a 7-minute video. They all contain weird topics of like suicide and stuff. I don't know if I'm kind of scared of playing it now. There apparently was a challenge. And some 5-year-old called police on Momo as well. I think. Oh my god. Is that the problematic character? I didn't even realize. There's okay. Let's listen to this one. 10 scary Momo urban legends. Let me hear what he's saying.
Today we're gonna be checking out Akinator.
No mind. What is? There's a short horror film about her. What? I'm learning so much about Momo today. Okay, maybe not Momo. Let's just listen to like random creepypasta, I guess. Where is the like compilation? Okay, here. Just oh my god, that's so loud.
My hometown of Cedar Creek, Colorado, had a woman who everyone loved to hate.
Ted's a caver.
Her name
Oh, do you
was
want to
Miss-
listen to that one? I don't mind. Ted the caver. Is it a creepypasta? I don't like it. This looks so scary. Why is there a guy in a cave? I mean, might as well. Since I'm gonna do this for a while, might as well listen to something. Did he get stuck in a cave or something? Is it the one that's 2 hours long? Is it good? Is it worth listening for 2 hours? Wait, that's a long story. Let's just stick to the short ones for now.
My hometown of Cedar Creek, Colorado, had a woman who everyone loved to hate.
Is it loud?
Her name was Miss Gatlin, and she was both my elementary school's janitor and the scapegoat for all unfortunate events around our town.
I hope it
The
sounded
Cedar
okay.
Creek elderly despised her for having a son out of wedlock, and the town parents scorned her for giving said son too much freedom, a parenting style which had supposedly led to his death
Oh my god,
at
my
the
cat
hands of our
gave me a
town's
heart
eponymous
attack.
river. As for the children of Cedar Creek, we didn't care at all about social conventions or parental negligence, but we all agreed that Miss Gatlin was an ugly lady,
Wow,
and
so
that was
rude.
enough to warrant our cruelty. My best friend at the time was a curly-haired menace to society named Isaac, who, by 5th grade, had established himself as a ringleader amongst the neighborhood boys. He did his best to inconvenience Miss Gatlin, though his pranks did little to rattle her. If we spread rumors about her poor hygiene just within earshot, Miss Gatlin didn't bat an eye. If we released bugs inside a janitorial closet, she'd calmly sweep them outside. If we stuffed rotten food inside a locker, she'd clean it out quietly
Oh my
and
god.
without complaint.
How
Our
much free
usual
time do you
tricks never
have?
worked on Miss Gatlin, and all of us unimaginative kids were stumped by how to best a woman whose job it was to clean up messes of all kinds. In my last year of primary school, Hanukkah fell a week and a half before we were dismissed for winter break. All of the Jewish children thoroughly enjoyed showing off their gifts to the rest of us, who had to wait an eternity for our presents. Thanks to Kim Possible, Spy Kids and Totally Spies, every kid in Cedar Creek was obsessed with espionage, so Isaac's gift of a spy tech kit for kids made him even more popular than usual. Most of the kit was cheap plastic junk, but there was a small spy radio that seemed very well manufactured. It consisted of an earpiece and a button-sized microphone that was supposedly capable of transmitting audio up to a radius of 5 miles. Isaac, myself, and the rest of our crew spent most of
Sometimes
the
I have
week
to remind
before
myself
winter
that
break
creepypasta is
running
not
around town
real.
and testing the
It's
capabilities
not a real
of the
story.
device. The audio quality was surprisingly good, although the earpiece and microphone could only be separated for about 3 miles before the sound became too distorted to understand. It was a novel concept for a few days, but after a while, we grew bored of playing walkie-talkie. Isaac wanted to use it for its intended purpose, surveillance, and he had the perfect target in mind. On the last day before winter break, Isaac and I glued the button-sized device to the back of an old brooch we had found in his sister's jewelry box. We covered it up with a strip of velvet and then glued on the pin and catch, and by the time we were done, you couldn't tell anything was amiss. We put it in a small white box, which we put in my backpack for later. We determined that I would be the one to deliver it, given Isaac's reputation as a prankster. After school, I found Miss Gatlin in the staff break room. She barely looked at me as I walked into the room. I noticed along the far wall of the break room a wall of cubbies, each one marked with the name of a staff member. All of them were filled with gifts and letters, presumably from parents or other employees at the school. All of them, that is, except one. "You can't be in here, kid," Miss Gatlin said to me in a gruff voice. "I know." I swung my backpack onto my stomach and fished around for the box. It had gotten a little banged up in my bag, but I figured she wouldn't really care. I procured it and held it out to her. "But I wanted to give you this before the break." She stopped packing up, turning fully towards me. For a long time, she just stood there, staring suspiciously at the box. Setting her bag down, she took a few steps forward and grabbed the box out of my hand. She gave it a slight
Actually, I
rattle,
don't know how much of,
and
like,
then
most of them
opened
are
it slowly.
fake, right?
When she
It's
saw
just
the
sometimes I
brooch,
listen and like,
she
wait, how
gingerly
can that
took
be?
it
And
out of
then I
the
remember
box
it's
and
supposed
turned it
to
around
be
in her
fake.
hand. Then she paused again,
Maybe there is some of
looking
them
between the glittering
that are real, though.
fake emerald and me. "It's not new, sorry. It used to be my mom's," I told her, going off the script Isaac and I had conceived to add more authenticity to the handoff. "She doesn't wear it anymore, but I thought you might like it." Miss Gatlin kept staring at me, her expression unreadable. I half expected her to chuck it into the garbage bin in the corner of the room, but to my relief, she gave me a single nod. "Thank you," she said, and pinned the brooch onto a cardigan carefully, like it was a precious gem and not some cheap hunk of plastic. I gave her a smile that she did not return, and then she shooed me away. Isaac was waiting for me in the woods outside school.
Turn
I
around!
flashed him a thumbs up, and he slapped my back twice in congratulations. He pulled the earpiece out of his backpack and held it between us. I put my ear next to the speaker and was delighted when I could hear movement.
Hi,
The
Mixer,
sound was
welcome!
slightly more muffled now by the velvet backing,
I have a few
but the
actually.
audio quality was still really good.
How are you doing?
We heard the sound of snow crunching under Miss Gatlin's feet as she walked herself through the woods home. We listened giddily for a few minutes, then raced back to my house to celebrate our success with hot chocolate. Since we had the attention span of two 10-year-old boys, we forgot about our triumph until just a
How
few
far
minutes
can the
before
thing
Isaac's
like
mom
reach
came to
though?
pick him up. When I remembered, I pulled out the earpiece, which we had decided would live at my house since it was closer to Miss
It's such an
Gatlin's, and
expensive
listened.
toy. If you can listen to so far
More than
away.
last year, but not as much as the year before last. What do you think about that? Do you like it? Can you feel it?
Yeah.
I see. Me personally, I've loved it since I was a little
Pretty.
girl. It falls so prettily. What the heck is she saying? Isaac asked me, as if I had any clue. The better question, in my mind at least, was who the hell was she talking to? She had no kids or husband, and didn't have
Who
any
says-
friends as
How
far
do
as I
you
knew.
know? Like, how do you know
I
so much
dunno,
about you?
I said. She's
Janitor
talking
lady.
about snow, I think. Though the question, can you feel it, seemed an odd thing to ask anyone. We sat there, listening to her talk for 5 minutes straight. I'd never heard Miss Gatlin talk that much in my life, even though I'd seen her most days since I was only 5 years old. Looking back, I'm not entirely sure what we had expected, but it certainly wasn't a monologue of that length. We strained our
I
ears,
didn't need to
listening
pee.
for another voice.
But now I'm
heard
invested in
nothing.
the story.
Maybe she's gydo-forensic? Isaac volunteered. I had no idea what that was, but I trusted his authority. His mom showed up to take him home, and I turned the speaker off to walk him outside. After that, every once in a while, I would turn the speaker on and listen. It seemed that no matter the time, be it early in the morning or late at night, Miss Gatlin was always talking. She talked about all kinds of things, everything from
No, she
clothing
just
to
talks
stocks
to
to the
herself.
weather
I
to
talk to myself all the
politics.
time. Like right
Sometimes
now,
she
I'm talking to
prayed,
myself mostly.
talking so quickly and quietly that I could only make out one out of every 5 or so words. She apologized often and spoke constantly of a promise. Sometimes when I
Yeah,
turned
it's
on
a
the
diamond
speaker,
painting. So you like put
all I
little
heard was
beads.
sobs.
It's
And
like
sometimes
painting by
the
numbers, but you put like
conversations were so
beads in the
strange
right
that I
places.
couldn't make heads or
And you're gonna
tails of
make a
them.
little diamond painting, which is supposed
A
to be
young woman
cool. I
smiled
hope.
at me today at the grocery store. Isn't that just the sweetest thing? I felt like it's been so long since someone smiled
I
at me
just
like
really
that.
wanted to put it on my wall.
Yes,
so
I
now we're
know,
doing
she was
this.
just doing a job. Probably doesn't even know my name. Oh, how hard this has been. How lonesome. But I'm so very close to the finish line. I won't break my promise now. A few days before we returned to school, Isaac and I made the trek over to her house in an attempt to figure out who she was speaking to. I'd seen her house a few times before, and each time I was taken
Okay, I'm done
aback
with
by how
these.
small it was.
I need to get rid of them.
Isolated and weathered, her home stood at the edge of the southern woodlands on a large plot of land, off of a street with very little through traffic. I remember standing on the side of the road with Isaac, staring at the little shack-like house, which must have only had room for a bedroom, a bathroom, and maybe a tiny kitchen. There's no way anyone else lives there, Isaac said, after a while of standing and staring. We were too far away to peer into the windows, but we were also too afraid to venture any
I'm
closer.
sorry, I need to pee. I'll be right
She's
back.
either a witch, or she's just some sad, ugly old lady who went crazy from having no friends. Isaac got bored quickly, so we left not too long after that. After we had made our way partway down the street, something compelled me to turn around and give the house a final look. When I did, I saw the unmistakable shape of Miss Gatlin standing on the porch, staring in our direction. I turned away and grabbed a hold of Isaac's arm. "She's watching us," I whispered to him. His eyes grew wide. "Damn," he said. "Should we run?" "No, That'll look suspicious. Let's just keep walking. We walked until we were out of eyeshot, and then we ran all the way home. I'm not quite sure what spooked us so badly, but for some reason, even when I was back in the safety of my own home, I couldn't shake the feeling of eyes boring into my back. And soon they'll all be coming back. It's hard seeing them sometimes, knowing my Oliver was among them once. Sometimes I think I see him. At least it'll get easier soon. Thanks to you. By the time we went back to school, my friends had grown bored of the spy gear. I volunteered to return Isaac's speaker, but he said it was practically useless now since we couldn't retrieve the microphone. Surprisingly, Miss Gatling continued to wear the brooch every day. It was always pinned to her non-work clothes, so the only time she was unbugged, as Isaac put it, was when she was in her janitorial outfit at my school. Seeing her guard the brooch so carefully made me feel kind of bad. Was that the only gift she had gotten for Christmas? Was it the only gift she had gotten in the past decade? Maybe she wasn't a witch or crazy. Maybe she was just lonely and had learned to cope by talking to herself. Months passed. Isaac and company finally coming to terms with the fact that they would never get the rise they were looking for out of Miss Gatlin, moved on to terrorizing the curmudgeonly old man who lived across from Cedar Creek Elementary and was always yelling at kids for one reason or another. I was happy for Miss Gatlin. One day, in March, I found her sitting on a bench at the edge of campus during lunch. I took a seat next to her, not expecting much. She took one look at me, then fixed the gaze back at the sad-looking sandwich in her hand. "What do you want?" she asked without looking at me. "Nothing, just wanted to sit here." She picked at the sandwich. "We're not friends, kid." "I know, you don't have any friends." "That's right," she nodded. "Maybe one day, though," I said. And to my surprise, she laughed. I didn't realize she was capable of laughing. She looked at me properly for the first time in our brief conversation, and I noticed that she was smiling. It was an unpracticed smile, but a genuine one. "Yeah," she said. "Maybe one day." Miss Gatlin packed up and headed back to the school building after that. She left a bag of mini Oreos on the bench next to me. I think she did it on purpose. I grew accustomed to checking up on her every now and then, listening to her conversations with herself. Sometimes it almost felt like she was talking to me. Looking back on it now, I realized what a little villain I was, and what an immense invasion of privacy I was committing. I wish that I could take it back now, especially considering what happened next. Friday, May 17th, marked the 10-year anniversary of Oliver Gatlin's death. I kept an eye on Miss Gatlin throughout the day, but she didn't seem any more dejected than usual. Maybe things were finally looking up for her. In any case, although I hadn't checked in on her for a while, I decided that evening to see how she was doing. My parents were gone for the week, and I was only allowed to stay at home alone if I stayed inside the whole time, so I had nothing better to do. Not long after sunset, as I lounged on the floor of my bedroom, I turned on the earpiece. Miss Gatlin was talking to herself, as always, but there was something strange about her tone. She sounded more excited than ever. Almost there, almost there, almost there. She repeated those 2 words over and over until, at exactly 11:44 p.m., she let out a sound that I understood years later to be a cry of triumph. It is done, it's done, Dark Angel. Thank you, thank you. 10 years of solitude, and it was worth every second. Now, Angel, bring him back to me. What was she on about now? Were those song lyrics or something? I strained my ears, listening for another person out of habit. But of course, it was only Miss Gatlin's voice. After a moment, her cries of happiness faded, her voice taking on a confused tone. What do you mean? No, that can't be true. I kept my promise. I followed every rule. I let no one in, kept no companions, made no friends. I kept my wish a secret, as you told me. My angel, I sat up slowly, the building terror in her voice putting me on edge, even from miles away. And then she asked a question that still haunts me to this day. What do you mean, I had an audience? There was a moment of silence, and then the surefire sound of the velvet backing of the brooch being ripped away. I could hear her breath, sharper and clearer than ever before, as she repeated a single word. No, 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 no. She withdrew from the microphone, her rapid breaths replaced by what sounded like a front door being thrown open with a bang. There was no more noise from the microphone. I remember standing up in my bedroom, not quite understanding what had just happened, and not quite knowing what to do next. Something told me that I should go downstairs and make sure that the doors were locked, so I told myself to man up and force myself down the stairs to the dark first floor. I made my way around the whole house, checking the doors and windows. Once I was done, I just stood there. Somehow, I knew she was coming, and that there was nothing I could do to stop it. I thought I was hearing the wind, but as it grew louder, I realized I was hearing wailing. I heard it long before I saw her, that gut-wrenching cry, that sound that I'd previously heard only pale imitations of in movies where a mother loses a child. Standing in the darkness of my living room, I watched the sprint from the tree line towards my house. Her mouth was wide open, her eyes glazed over, and her body dressed in a white nightgown. She looked and sounded like something out of my worst night terrors. I dropped to the floor and crawled away from the window, taking cover behind a couch. Why? She howled, her moaning voice rising and falling as she ascended the steps to my front porch and slammed a fist against the door. Why? I needed to get to the phone, but the house phone was right next to the window, and I was petrified. She hit the door so hard, I was afraid that the hinges would give way. How could you do this to me? I clamped a hand over my mouth. She couldn't possibly know for certain that I was in the house, could she? The origin of the wailing shifted as she rounded the wraparound porch, the heavy knocks of her fist against the door giving way to the thudding of her shoes on the wooden porch floor. I stuck my head around the couch and saw no one at the front window. But when I looked at the side, I saw a face hovering inches from the glass. I screamed at the top of my lungs as a fist came into contact with the glass, shattering it. I was so horrified by the rain of blood-speckled glass that I almost missed the sight of the shotgun scabbard strapped to her torso. Certain I was about to die, I screamed at her to go away, to leave me alone, and she screamed right back at me, asking me questions I didn't understand. Dogs had begun to bark at the commotion, and my next-door neighbor's porch light turned on. Please, just go away. I shrieked as I finally found my footing and raced to the phone. I grabbed it from its holder and started to type 911 as I decided whether or not I should risk running up to the neighbor's house. When I looked at the broken window, though, she was nowhere to be seen. The wailing had rescinded, growing fainter and fainter until I couldn't hear her at all. I stood there, dumbly, until the sound faded entirely, my hand shaking. She was gone. I was sure of it. Should I still call emergency services? After that moment, I heard another, fainter sound and recognized the staticky audio immediately as the transmission from Isaac's spy gear. I raced upstairs, still clutching the phone, and grabbed a speaker from the floor where I had dropped it. I pressed it against my ear, listening to the faint sound of a familiar voice. "I hope this was worth it, kid," it said, calmly and coldly. "I hope you and your friends can laugh about this." I heard a bang, and then I heard nothing at all. It took 2 weeks for the police to find her body. Her final resting place was deep in the woods, under a thick shroud of junipers not far from the banks of Cedar Creek. As her face was mutilated beyond recognition, her body was identified by the shotgun lying beside her. They say that, although she was covered in enough blood to entice every animal within a 3-mile radius, her corpse was untouched by the beasts. Even the insects seemed hesitant to feed, and the fungi slow to grow upon her body, as though even the lowliest creatures feared contamination by the lonely woman in the woods. They did not find a brooch on her person. It all started when I was 16. It was Halloween, and my friends and I had all had a bit too much fun pushing each other to do something dumber and dumber. We'd snatched a bottle of red from my parents' stash and passed it around when one of us came up with the idea to check out the old mall by the freeway. The place had been closed a few years prior, and none of us had been there more than a couple of times as kids, but we figured it could make for a good story. The 5 of us crammed into a car and made our way out there, blasting music as we went along. Godsmack, POD, PM5K. It was a different time. Rod was up in the front seat, trying to smoke something, but the rest of us kept interrupting him. He had this stupid hang-up and a joke where, if you reminded him of it, he wouldn't stop laughing. It could boil down to a single word, and he'd burst. As we got there and poured out on the concrete, a chill passed through me, more so than the autumn air. The pillars outside reminded me of a ribcage, making the whole place look like a giant concrete corpse. In the dark of a Halloween night, pretty much anything can look terrifying. That's just where your mind wanders. We made our way in through a loosely boarded glass door. Stepping inside, all the light we had were our flip phones and the moon slipping in through the skylight. I'd been in that mall a handful of times over the years, but what I was seeing there and then was something different. Without the people and the ads and the billboards and the stalls, it was just a husk, something left behind. Still, we found a bunch of stuff. There were still metal racks in one of the old clothing stores which we could climb. There was a counter at the old sandwich place where we could pretend to take orders. There were windows to break, and these huge, empty spaces where our voices would carry all throughout the building. The only place that held some sort of reverence to us was the toy store on the second floor. That had once been the center of our attention. We were just 16, and most of us remembered a time when we would beg our parents for a trip there. It had been the biggest toy store in our world, and there was always something new to look at. But seeing it then and there, it was just as dead as the rest of the place. Not even the sign remained. As the others made their way inside, I split off to take a walk, lighting up the hallway with my phone. They mocked me on my way, saying whoever splits off the group is always the first to die in horror movies. Hilarious. I went past what remained of the old stores, the gift shop, the flower boutique, the bookstore. I could almost see them, but only in my mind. Now, it was all concrete and cheap sandstone tiling. The place wasn't even old enough to be dusty yet, remaining in this sort of space between living and dead, like a man on life support. It'd only take the flip of the switch and this whole place would come alive, ready to welcome people back. But of course, that wouldn't happen. Then, at the end of the hall, I came to a full stop. It turns out, we weren't the first people with the idea to come here. There was a resting area in the far back, a sort of alcove. Benches set around an empty space where stalls were supposed to be, all centered around this massive red marble column. I called the others over. They had to see this. My voice easily carried all the way across the mall, and the others came running. Someone had been here. They'd flipped all the benches onto their backs and placed several pots and planters in a circle around the column. Hell, they even planted something. I could see little blue sprouts poking up. But the freakiest thing was the column itself. They'd taken the old mall posters and plastered the thing with them. These posters were just the picture of a smiling, middle-aged woman dressed in a sort of 50s attire. A generic yellow sundress with little white flowers on it. She also had the most generic stock photo smile you could imagine. To her right, on every poster, was a cartoonish speech bubble. They were just old sayings, bordering on cliches. Like Mama used to make 'em, the more the merrier, happily ever after. But the freaky thing was not the posters themselves, but what had been done to them. Someone had burned out the eyes, leaving them covered in scorch marks. With the red marble in the back, my brain sort of short-circuited, making me think I was looking into her empty sockets, seeing the gore behind the eyes. It was unsettling, and probably intentional. They also modified some of the sayings, crossing out certain words. Mama used more, ever after. It was unsettling. Some of us caught the Halloween vibe of it, thinking it fit perfectly with what we were up to. Others could sense it, like me, that this wasn't just a fun thing someone did for fun. This was deranged. It must have taken hours to arrange this sort of scene, and we couldn't imagine a good reason to do it. "That's Lady Lockley," said Rod, pointing up at the posters. "I had a crush on her. Looks like my babysitter. She's like 50, I added. "Still got a great rack." The others agreed. It was funny, but I couldn't bring myself to laugh. This felt like rot. In the same way that a corpse decays, this was the way old buildings decayed. It made me feel filthy, like I was some kind of bacteria infecting this place and breaking it down, corrupting it, digesting it. I felt sorry for Lady Lockley. She deserved better. A happily ever after. Once we got bored of wandering around, we made our way back to the entrance on the other side of the building. One of the guys squealed in delight. He'd found a ball pit. Looking at it, it was clear that this thing wasn't sanitary. We could hear something moving in it, probably rats. Part of the ceiling had collapsed, leaving a dead wire hanging like an open nerve, and the whole place was covered in a thin layer of concrete dust. "Someone's gotta go in," they said. "We ain't leaving until someone goes in." "Not me," I added. "No way." And that settled it. I was the first to decline. I had to be the first to go in, no matter if I wanted it or not. The others grabbed me and pushed me into the deep end face first. Plastic balls rattled against my ears. I was fully prepared to be drenched in rat pee and bites. But nothing happened. There was concrete dust covering my scalp and forehead, but apart from that, I was fine. It tickled my nose a bit. The pit was deep enough to reach about halfway up my body, but I'd sunken to the bottom. I could feel the rubber flooring against my cheek. The others were lighting me up with their phones. The lights coming through the balls made a sort of kaleidoscope of pastel colors, stretching the shadows out into long, distorted shapes. As I struggled to regain my balance, I fumbled around with my hands, trying instinctively to grab something. But instead, something grabbed me. It was only a silhouette, a face somewhere in the swirl of colors, the shape of a head with two holes where the eyes were supposed to be. It gasped excitedly. Even from a distance, I could taste the ammonia on its breath. Its icy fingers interlocked with mine, wanting to bring me closer. I recoiled, shaking my head. I think I let out a scream, but I don't remember doing it. My pulse shot through the roof as I forced myself back to my feet, scrambling to get back to the others. They were laughing their asses off, thinking I was just surprised. As my head breached the surface, they were standing in a half circle, shining their lights at me. Of course, there was nothing in the ball pit. I wiped my dusty hair and prepared myself to drag one or two of them down there with me. But something in the air changed. Their faces went from gleeful joy to careful curiosity to worry. Turning back towards the pit, I could see why. On the side of every ball in the pit was an eye, lovingly hand-painted with a Sharpie. The others helped me up and tried to diffuse the tension with puns and jabs. It didn't take long for the chill to leave our spines, but it took me the longest. Looking down at my hand, I felt cold, like something had really touched me, something just as real as the mall and the people who invaded it. We left shortly after, taking the car back to town, blasting our music again. We filled the rest of the night with more stolen wine, games, dares and laughs. But something in me had changed. I couldn't let go of that image of Lady Lockley and the red marble in the back of her head. Through every chuckle and every smile, that feeling held me back. Something had changed. Forever. That night, as I slept on Rod's couch, I watched the moonlight cast a shadow on the opposite wall. The cross of the window shaped the light into 4 perfect squares. As I lay there, half drunk and half asleep, I imagined them as little television screens each showing whatever came to mind. Old memories, dreams, hopes. But every made-up show I imagined always ended the same way, with the mental image of a middle-aged 1950s housewife, a dead smile, a southern drawl, and the red, infected cavity in her skull, where her eyes ought to be. The next day, it all felt like a bad dream. Some of the guys were hungover, and most of us just made our way back home to sleep it off. I didn't want to go home. My parents were so focused on my older brother at the time that they didn't care what I did. He was the one with the problems. I could get away with pretty much anything. Being gone for a day was nothing compared to a heroin addiction. Still, I had to get back home. Much like expected, my parents weren't around. They left a note to say there were some leftovers in the fridge and that I could call them if I needed something, but that was it. I'd never once called them on that number. Making my way up to my room, I stopped. We have these two windows at the top of the staircase with two knobs in the middle. For a moment, I imagined those two knobs as little eyes. I could imagine them blinking. All throughout the day and the next, this would become a repeating pattern. 2 coins on the counter could send a shiver up my spine. The rings of a scissor grip would make me think of those gaping eye sockets. 2 soda cans with their pull tabs standing at attention brought me the same image. Every combination of 2 circles, spheres or rings, it all forced that image back into my head. That joyless smile of Lady Lockley and her icy fingers interlocking with mine, bringing me closer. It came to a point where people started to notice. For example, when I had dinner with my parents, they had a beer each. The bottles were placed next to one another, and the top of the bottles formed those 2 holes. It took me a while to notice, but when I did, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It physically made me itch, and I had this intense need to separate them. Once I did, the 2 of them just looked at me, not a word spoken. I tried to ignore it. I reorganized my space to make sure there was nothing around to remind me, but every now and then there'd be something. It could be something as little as 2 people passing on the street and their heads reminding me of floating eyeballs. But it got worse. Once, as I stepped out of the shower, I spotted myself in the mirror. Even seeing my own eyes looking back at me sent me into this spiraling anxiety. I could imagine myself eyeless, with that infected red cavity in the back of my skull. I could see it to the point where I convinced myself that it was true, that I had no eyes to begin with. My eyes would close, and I couldn't bring myself to open them. I would try to pry them open with my fingers, kneeling on the cold bathroom tiles, but it wouldn't work. Nothing would. "Come on," I'd cry. "Come on." But it just wouldn't work. It was so infuriating that it tickled the back of my brain into a joyless smile. No one else was suffering from this. I had no one to talk to, and no one would understand why I was feeling that way. It was impossible to describe. And to a group of guys who mostly talked about women and games, there wouldn't be much interest in mental health. So, I decided to do something about it myself. Much like exposure therapy, I had to go back. I was going to tear down every poster, set fire to the damn ball pit, and prove to myself that there was nothing to fear. I was going to destroy it. Lady Lockley. I was going to break those icy fingers and stare into her eyeless face unflinching. I had this crappy moped that I'd saved up for one summer. Enough time had passed for the first Minnesota snow to fall, so I had to be careful not to slip and slide. I loaded up a backpack with all kinds of destructive tools. I didn't even bother to read the note left on the kitchen counter this time. No one else was going to fix me, so I had to do it myself. I kept the wheel steady, feeling the snow slush stain my cheap jeans, cold water soaking into my second-hand shoes. By the time I got there, I was shivering. A cold wind had picked up from the overcast, and there was no moonlight to guide me this time. Still, I'd prepared. I had a great flashlight with plenty of spare batteries packed away. My dad had this battery box in the garage, full of whatever kind he might possibly need. I brought the whole thing. I made my way inside through the loosely boarded up doors. The place felt warmer, but maybe it was just me being angry. I had this frustration pent up in me, forcing me forward. I went past all the hollow shops, the broken benches, the empty planters, and the dry fountain. I climbed up the dead escalator and followed the familiar shops towards the resting area. I could see the red marble column from afar, sticking out like a sore nerve. The posters plastered to it like a band-aid to an open wound. My footsteps echoed as I made my way closer, clutching the flashlight harder. There were little sprouts in the pots and planters now, some with a little blue bud, others had barely poked through the dirt. One had grown quite tall. There were more posters now. Some had been stuck to the walls, others lay strewn about on the floor. Someone had been there recently, I could tell. A few chairs from one of the downstairs restaurants had been dragged up there and smashed, forming a kind of plastic half circle across the floor. It didn't matter to me. This was all going to burn either way. I put down my backpack and brought out a bottle of gasoline. My dad always kept a spare can in the garage, but I didn't want to bring the whole thing, so I just filled up 3 plastic bottles instead. I unscrewed the top and just started chucking it at the column, tainting the posters. They were made with some kind of plastic that didn't react well to gasoline, making part of the ink melt a little, making Lady Lockley's smile into a frown, and then a garbled mess. I went all around the column, using 2 of my 3 bottles. It was messy, and I got a whole lot of it on my clothes. I would have to wash it when I get back. My parents didn't ask a lot of questions, but if I were to come back home drenched in gasoline, they might have something to say. As I finished, I put down my bag and got a hold of a lighter. One of those with a long neck for lighting fancy candles. I tried to wipe the gasoline off my hands, but doubt was getting to me. I didn't want to set myself on fire. Then again, this place had to die. For a brief moment, I got stuck staring at the posters. Even with the ink melting off, the holes remained. Dozens of empty eye sockets staring at me, some with a barely human face attached. Some were relatively unscathed, still carrying the various slogans and sayings of Lady Lockley. There was even a fully intact Happily Ever After poster smiling back at me. I put away my flashlight, letting the darkness of the place overwhelm me. The overcast was doing me no favors. I held the lighter up, inched closer, and clicked it. A single light in the dark. But something was wrong. A chill worked its way across my right cheek, making me squint. Then, a breath of air. The light disappeared, and my nostrils were assaulted by the sudden smell of ammonia. And right behind me, grazing my cheek, was something cold. Something that was gently placing its fingers on my left shoulder inching up towards my neck. I bent down, snatched up my flashlight, and turned around. The cone of light swayed back and forth, finding nothing as I backed away. My feet were stepping on their own, seemingly out of my control. My lungs felt stiff, like I couldn't push any air into them. There were puffs of smoke with every little forced, panting breath. I wasn't alone. I didn't even think about how far I backed up until my back hit the red marble pillar. I just stood there, frozen. I could feel the eyeless holes turning towards me, waiting for me to turn around. Something was running down my arm. It made its way to my fingers. I looked down, only to see fresh blood. Droplets formed at the edge of my fingertips, pooling up and dropping to the floor. The back of my head felt wet, same with the back of my pants and jacket. I carefully stepped away and turned to face the pillar. Blood. It wasn't just red marble. It was bleeding. The gasoline had made the posters slip off, falling to the floor one by one, leaving the pillar raw and unprotected. Little pools of blood ran across the floor. It was so quiet, just little tips and taps of drops hitting the floor, mixing with the echoes of my breathing. I could hear the battery in the flashlight rattling as my hand shook from the cold. And in the distance, a hiss. My ears homed in on the sound, a whisper coming from one of the nearby stores. Put them back. I just stood there, trying to comprehend what I was hearing, what it was demanding. Then, from another store from across the mall, a louder sound. Put it all back. And from a third store, an old fast food kitchen. Put me back. Looking down at the pools of gasoline and blood, mixing with the misshaped plastic posters, I shook my head. I didn't want this anymore. All the anger had turned to fear, and all I wanted was to grab my stuff and leave. I'm going, I said. I won't come back. There was no response. Just like back home, there was no one to listen to me. Maybe I was speaking to an empty room, making up stories in my head. I won't come back, I repeated. This is it. Screw you all and whatever game you're playing. I won't. I suddenly choked on my breath. I could see them in the distance. Human shapes stepping out of the storefronts, all with the same cheerful yellow dress, the same hair, the same smile. Then something grabbed me. It wasn't like the first time, where icy fingers daintily slipped into my hand, but something violent, angry, nails digging into my scalp, grabbing a handful of my hair, forcing me forward with a dead man's cramped grip. I went from standing to kneeling, having my face pressed onto the floor in a heartbeat. There were no more than 2 hands, maybe 4, 5. Something heavy pushed against my spine. No. It wasn't just one word. It was a choir. A dozen identical voices speaking as one from across the mall. 2 cold fingers touched my eyelids, forcing me to blink. I forced my eyes shut, trying to squint them away. I could barely breathe. I tried to move my head away, shaking the fingers off, but I couldn't. No matter how far I forced myself back, they pushed on until the pain started. This mounting pressure, causing bright, painful spots to dance across the inside of my head. It was excruciating. I was panicking, trying to turn, but I couldn't. There was this raw, primal emotion bubbling inside me, forcing me to scream. I begged and pleaded, but it was too late. I had wronged them, and they were relentless. Had it gone any further, I'd be blind today, maybe dead. But it didn't. I heard footsteps approaching and felt the fingers slowly let up. Pressure released from my spine, and the hands holding me down loosened their grip. I slowly opened my eyes, blinking away the spots of pain, only to see a man. He had a flashlight of his own, casting deep shadows on his wrinkled face. He must have been in his early 60s and was dressed in some kind of maintenance get-up. A janitor, perhaps. He walked up to me as the last hand let go and offered to help me up. I accepted it and got back on my feet. I didn't dare turn around. I could hear them, feel them, smell the ammonia. "Don't do anything stupid," he whispered. "Give them a moment." We just stood there. I looked down, trying my best not to bring any attention to myself. At the edge of my vision, I could see flowery, yellow dresses shuffle past me, back into the empty storefronts, back into the mall. He patted me on the shoulder, and I looked up. The last silhouette slipped into an old outlet space, leaving the two of us alone. He got some blood on his hands from touching my shoulder and wiped it off on his legs. He stepped back to pick up something he'd brought, a stack of posters and a toolbox. Walking up to me, he had this almost apologetic look on his face. "So, she picked you too, eh?" he sighed. "That makes, what, 4 of us?" Using a bucket and a still working hose in the back, we got enough water and soap to clean the pillar a bit. It had stopped bleeding, coagulated in a way. We ended up putting up new posters, still with the eyes burned out. "She likes them this way," he said. "The kids always did this to the posters, long before the place closed. She thinks they're supposed to look like this." We spent some time collecting scrap and piling it into a circle around the pillar. That, and drawing eyes on various white surfaces. She doesn't have any eyes of her own, so she needs us to give her some. We spent hours just wandering around, touching up the place, watering the plants, cleaning up the gasoline. The Lady Lockleys seemed calmer. I could see them shuffling about in the back of the stores, catching a reflection of their perfect teeth every now and then. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that any threat to this place would have me swarmed. "Do you have to do this?" I asked. "Like, often?" "Yeah," he nodded. "What happens if you don't?" "I think you know what happens." At the end of the night, as I left them all behind, I saw a final, swaying flowery dress in the cracks of the wooden boards. Even now, I was being watched, judged, weighed. But for the moment, I was safe. At first, I went back like once a week. Once I brought ping pong balls and painted eyes on them. They seemed to like that. Another time, I filled up the water fountain. The janitor would return at times too, bringing freshly printed posters and scrubbing the floor. No wonder it wasn't dusty. I tried to stop going back there, but it would just build this pressure in me. I'd feel her ire. I would start to focus on circles and spheres, as if my body was reminding me that I was being watched. I'd sometimes feel something cold at the edge of my vision, something icy brushing against my ear. It would put me on edge, as if expecting something to grab me at any moment. For that damn smile to come out of the dark and become the last thing I ever see. Places like this don't get torn down. The land is dirt cheap, and the effort to break and ship off all that concrete just isn't worth it. It remains there to this day. I would go back every now and then to fix the place up, to make sure she was happy enough to leave me alone. Weeks would turn to months, and over time, they trusted me enough to come back only once every 6 months or so. I'd make a day out of it. The plants would blossom into these 6 feet tall radiant blue sunflowers, and a creeping vine would slither up the side of the marble pillar. She seemed to like the vines. Sometimes there are new people. I don't really know their names, but we can kind of recognize each other at a glance. Some young, some old. We've tried to board the place up to keep people out, but every now and then, some smartass gets through. I don't think they all make it out. Some of the things I've seen over the years tell a gruesome story of their own. I'm in my mid-30s now. I've done this for half my life as a sort of stewardship, a part of my life that I can't share with anyone. I've gotten to know her wants and needs. There is a personality there, an intelligence. Sometimes they can get these strange whims. I once saw one of them trying to break through the loose boards, only to be dragged away by the others. I've seen them gently caress the leaves of the sunflowers. I've seen them dance on tables, walk hand in hand down the empty walkways. And once, just staring up at the moon. I think she's like an immune system, like something remaining to stop the decay. This building has been closed for decades, but from looking at it, you couldn't tell. Most buildings that have been empty for that long just look weighed down and worn, but not the Deadeye Mall. It's still spry and waiting, as if expecting people to come back. And every now and then, they do. But it's a service I perform under threat of death. And to this day, it terrifies me. While I'm not as bothered by circles or rings, I still have this feeling that I should be. Like I shouldn't be normalizing this. I shouldn't have to compromise to something unnatural and otherworldly. But I just don't know what the alternative is. I have this feeling that sooner or later, she'll turn to me, dissatisfied. And that day, she'll interlock her fingers with mine and drag me to a dark place I can't come back from. Ever after. I barely made it home in time. 1 minute I was singing along to the radio, and the next I was staring, slack-jawed, at the most menacing storm clouds I'd ever seen. As someone born and raised in Vermont, I was no stranger to snow squalls. But there was something foreboding about the dark clouds blowing in over the mountains. After reaching my house, I opened my car door and stepped out into a cold evening. The wind lashed at my face and made a terrible howling in my ears as I raced up the steps and slipped through the front door to my house. "Just in time," Luke said to me in greeting. My husband was staring in front of the living room window, surveying the mountains beyond our city. By the time I walked over to him, I could barely see 2 streets down. Seemed like we would be spending the evening inside. "Came out of nowhere," I commented. Before I so much as set my bag down, I heard the doggy door open. We didn't own any pets, but we often entertained visits from a neighborhood cat who Luke had called Rigatoni. Sure enough, an old orange cat soon appeared in our living room, leaving a trail of muddy paw prints as he trotted over to Luke. Ah, the serial couch surfer returns. Too cold out there for you? He asked the cat, currently rubbing her head against his shin, who meowed as if in affirmation. Tony wasn't terribly fond of most people, but Luke had a way with animals. He reached down to pet her, eliciting a melody of purrs from the contented cat. "Come on," he said, standing. "I'll fix you some dinner." "Thank God, I'm starving." "I wasn't talking to you," Luke said with a warm laugh, walking into the back of the house to fetch some cat food for Tony. Half an hour later, just as Luke and I had finally sat down to eat, we heard the doggy door open once again. I raised a brow at my husband. Tony was our only regular four-legged visitor. I wondered who else could have let themselves inside our home. I didn't have to wonder for long. Seconds later,
I just realized, oh my god, I was muted this whole time.
Barking
Was I
and
muted this
whining
whole
with
time?
urgency. Luke and I rose sharply to our seats at the table, watching
How
the
long
dog
have I
as
been
it came to a
muted?
stop in the corner of the room. I
Hi
realized
Dodo,
as
how are
the
you
poor
doing?
creature lowered
Welcome.
its head
Oops.
and tucked its
Sorry, I
tail
was
between
saying
its
how
legs
tired I am most of
that I
the time.
recognized it. "Hey, that's Mrs. Johnson's dog," I said, rounding the table to check if the dog
No,
was
I
hurt.
was muted. I was talking.
Tucker?
Well, I wasn't talking about
Yeah,
anything
I'm
important.
pretty
I
sure.
was mostly saying how
I see
tired I
her
am.
walking him all the time. I crouched down next to Tucker and slowly reached out my arm.
No, I wasn't.
To
I
my
was just
surprise,
muted.
the usually sweet-tempered
this?
border collie pulls its lips back in a snarl, lunging forward slightly
it's
and
okay.
snapping his teeth.
It's fine.
It was a warning, not an attempt to hurt me, but I backed off all the same. Luke shot me a worried look. He's, usually more mild-mannered.
See,
I'll
it was
give
a
her a
relaxing
call and
stream
let
while
her
I
know
wasn't
he's with
talking,
us.
right? You had a relaxing
Luke
time, I
left the
hope.
room to grab his phone while I studied Tucker from a safe distance, looking for signs of injury. His frantic barks had been replaced by occasional
It
mournful
was a no
whines.
talking stream for a while.
He was no longer racing around, seemingly content with his place in the corner, but his posture remained fearful and defensive. It was hard to tell with the way he was carrying,
Yeah.
but I saw no visible wounds on him. "Do you have signal?" Luke shouted from another room. I took my phone out of my pocket to check, and to my surprise, I didn't. We had generally reliable coverage,
I'm so
and I
tired.
couldn't remember the last time I'd lost cell service. I tried restarting my phone, walking around at different spots in the house, and turning airplane mode on and off. Nada. Unfortunately, if it was affecting both of us, it was probably an issue
I
with our
love
service
cookies.
provider,
I just,
meaning there was little we could do.
I'm just poking these little
I was about to ask
diamonds
if he
into the
still had
painting
Wi-Fi on his
for
phone
3
when
hours
a
now.
light but urgent tapping
It's been a
sound
while.
filled the room.
Ugh,
I listened
Good.
for a moment, trying to place the origin of the sound,
break.
and soon traced it to the bathroom, or more specifically, the bathroom window. When I got there, I saw a small, fuzzy animal
cooked.
standing on the
Look, I made
windowsill
the omu rice.
and
It had boob
scratching
in it, but
fervently
now it
at the
just says
glass.
boob.
What in the world? The little creature didn't seem to notice my presence. I took another step forward into the bathroom, and I realized as I approached that the animal had torn right through the window screen. No cell service, no Wi-Fi,
I know, it's
no
Musk's
nothing.
hair.
At least
Mine
the
is
lights
not
are
black.
on.
Mine is purple.
Luke trailed off as he entered the room, looking over my shoulder at the frantic creature. "Is that a weasel?" I asked my resident animal lover,
Thank
who
you.
shook his head.
I'm
"Pretty
very
sure it's
talented. I made a
marten."
great omu rice. I
Neat.
didn't make the rice. I only did make the
I was about to
omelette, but that's
compliment
fine.
his identification
It's
skills
still tasty.
before I looked over and saw the look in his eyes. Don't ask me what I think you're about to ask me. Please. They're endangered, you know. This isn't Noah's Ark, Luke. We can't shelter every animal in Vermont. I swear, the rodent
Thank
took a
you.
break from ripping through my window screen to glare at me. I glared right back. Besides,
I'm very
this
proud
little
of
thing
myself
here looks
for making
rabid.
this.
Luke and I spent a couple minutes arguing. I wasn't keen on taking in any more impromptu guests, but Luke was adamant on saving it from the storm. There's something off about how desperately he's trying to get in, he said.
Thanks for
He
the
might be on the
headbutt.
verge
Thank
of freezing
you.
to death or something. After a while, he convinced me to take pity on the marten. I had to admit, the way it was throwing itself against the glass was a little unsettling. Reluctantly, I opened the window and allowed it to squeeze through the hole in the screen.
Yeah, sorry, the model's
However,
dead.
I
But
didn't realize
that's
that
the only
the
way you
marten
can give
wasn't
headbutts,
the
so
only creature
she's
waiting
there.
to get inside.
Just a little tired.
Before I could shut the window, a flurry of about 20 mice surged into the bathroom from the hole. They must have been sitting on the sill as well, but I guess I overlooked them, mistaking their fluffy white bodies for snow. I jumped
You
backwards,
can. I'm sorry.
swallowing a shriek, as one of them landed right on my foot. Eventually, I managed to shut the window without stepping on any mice, but not before a red bird, a cardinal, I think, squeezed its way in as well. Stunned, I hurried after the animals as they made a beeline for the center of the house.
Yeah.
When I entered the dining room, I saw
There's
not only
such a
Tucker
mess on
and
that
the
side of the
animals who
table
had
that you can
just
see.
burst in through the bathroom, but also a cat and 2 dogs that I
Where's
didn't
my mating?
recognize.
There it is. Oh no, my ball is
Cursing,
gone.
I
Wait.
realized that they must have entered through the doggy door, so I yelled out to Luke to lock it as I tried to make sense of the scene in front of me. The animals gave each other a wide berth. The cat didn't so much as look at the mice, nor did the dog seem at all interested in the cat. All of them were cowering, shivering as they pressed themselves into corners or squeezed into whatever hiding spot they could find. The dogs whined, the mice squeaked, even the cardinal was making a strange, almost mournful-sounding chirping noise. The only one who was behaving normally was Rigatoni, who I had to shoo away from the
Dude,
troop of mice
you can't
hiding
even tell
under the
I'm blowing
china
a
cabinet.
kiss.
What the hell is going on? Luke asked,
You can't
and I
really
had no
tell.
explanation to offer. We'd had nasty storms before, but
This is
never
so
had I
crazy.
seen one inspire such
Whoever made this
desperation
mug.
in our local wildlife. After another failed attempt at coaxing Tucker out of his corner,
It
I made
looks
my way
like
to the living room
saying something.
and stared out the large window. The total whiteout stared back at me.
What do you mean? You don't like my
I could only
face?
see a few feet out
It's
in
like
every
my
direction
exact copy. I
before
have
the
no
world was
hair in my
swallowed up by
mouth. Oh my
darkness
god.
and snow. It was eerie, but
Whole hair
it was
everywhere.
beautiful in a strange way. Hypnotic. It was easy to lose myself in thought as I watched the
Thank
snow
you,
fall.
thank you. I also think it's a 10 out of 10.
What
out
could
of
have
10 please.
spooked the animals so much, I wondered.
The hair going.
Could it really be the cold alone? The weather hadn't seemed to
Every
be that
time I
bad.
think it's my pink clip, and
Sure,
then I
it had
realize
been
it's
cold
not
outside.
my lip.
But not a blizzard cold. When I'd opened the bathroom window, I'd been distracted by the mice. But when I thought about it, I didn't
Like it.
remember a freezing cold wind sweeping into the house
So
alongside our
creepy.
animal guests.
Oh, who made
I
this
raised my
mug?
arm, pressing the back of my hand against the glass, and then stilled. Lou?
This dress
I
is also
quietly called
so
out.
big, it's like falling off.
He appeared around the corner seconds later. Tony cradled in
Never
his arms.
order a dress by the height.
it just
I thought
me
the
or
height was a
Is
good
the glass warm?
thing to like
Luke
measure a
stepped
dress
closer,
by. It's not.
shifting to hold the cat in one arm and placing his free hand against the
But that
pane.
was the only measurements they gave me, so I was
He
like,
didn't
yay!
respond, but the way his mouth set into a thin line told me that he felt the same thing. What does this mean?
Thank you,
I
Toto.
don't
Thank you for the
know.
alerts. Thank you. Hugs, hugs. Hi,
We both
Muduna.
stood in silence
Welcome.
for a while. The wind howled outside,
Thank you for the
but
book.
I had the sense that if I opened a window and stuck my hand out,
Oh, I'm so
it
tired.
wouldn't feel cold. I didn't want to find out though.
I don't really listen to
Opening
this
any
stupid
windows or
basket.
doors at that
Oh
point
my
seemed like a
feet.
bad
No, come
idea.
back.
In fact, I was
It's
about
fine.
to check that all entry points to our house were secured when Luke pointed at something outside. A large black
Stop
mass
falling!
ambled its way towards us.
Stay.
At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. Its shape and gait was so strange that I thought I was looking at a brand new animal. But once it stepped fully into the faint glow emanating from the porch light, I realized that it was a black
I think I
bear.
can just do it without the mask, I
Its
think.
lower jaw
Just don't
and one
go
of its
down.
hind legs had been ripped off, and from the trail of blood it left in its wake, it was clear that the wounds
I would
were
wear that
fresh.
mask anywhere. Actually,
bear
I would like to
stumbled
go
closer,
outside just in this
stopping
mask.
only inches
That would be
from the
so much
glass.
fun.
And with every wary step,
I just make
I
all
could
the
make
kids
out
cry.
another laceration on
I have
its
to go.
body.
I have to go somewhere where there
I
is a lot
watched
of
in
kids
horror
with this mask.
as the massive creature stared directly at us with a look in its eyes that
Just
it
to
could only be
traumatize them.
described as pleading. I held its gaze for a few seconds, and then the creature collapsed onto its side. A puddle of dark red pooled outward from its body, and soon the strange expansions and contractions of its ribcage ceased. Never once did it look away from us
I
as
feel
it
like
bled
I
out
will
and
go
died.
to jail after that because the kid will have a heart
There was a
attack.
long silence before Luke and I dared to speak.
I
You
sometimes
think-
get scared. This mask
Luke began.
usually sits on my
You
dining
think that's
table.
what the animals
So
were
whenever I
afraid
go
of?
like to the kitchen at night, I would look at
I
it. I
hope
would
so,
have a little heart attack
But
every
something in
time.
my gut told me that I wasn't. After
Now
all,
I'm more or less used to it.
even
But
if that
when I
was the
just bought
creature
it,
they'd
when
been
it,
running
I
from,
just like when my
the
sister just
question
brought
still
it,
remained.
that was scary.
What could have inflicted that level of trauma on a black bear of that size? I think we should get away from the windows. As we made our way to the middle of the house, the lights flickered once,
What is
twice,
this?
and then
There's like
abruptly
an
went out
abomination
altogether.
What is this?
We were plunged suddenly into darkness,
This is not the
and
you
it
can
seemed to put
see,
the
but it's
animals
like
even
it's not
more
a
on edge than
diamond.
before. The squeaks and whines increased in volume
What is this?
as I procured 2 flashlights from our kitchen cabinet. I handed one to my husband, and then the two of us took to the dining room, sitting on the floor with our backs against one of the walls. Luke was calm on the surface,
I missed most of this
but I
story.
could
What
tell
was
that
happening?
the strangeness of the situation was
Are the
causing
animals
him
getting angry at
distress.
them?
At least Tony's presence seemed to
Yeah.
bring him some peace of mind. For some reason, she was unaffected by whatever ailed the others. I studied her as she relaxed in Luke's lap, her eyes
My hands are
closing
not
as he
riddle.
absent-mindedly stroked
You have
her
strong
fur.
hands. I can.
Why was it that she was unafraid?
Squish.
She had come to our house right before the blizzard set in, whereas the rest of the animals likely had been outside for longer. Had they seen something out in the storm?
Yeah.
If they had, could
The
it
hands
have
have
been the same
worked.
thing that killed
Actually,
the
no,
bear?
but
Hey. Luke's shaky voice broke through my thoughts.
but they could have.
Do you hear that? I didn't hear anything. And then I realized I didn't hear anything. No wailing of the wind, no sounds from the animals, nothing.
Give the hydration,
It was
thank
like the
you.
whole world had suddenly gone quiet. I looked around the room. All of the animals were so still, it was as if they were afraid to move. I clicked my flashlight off, wanting to attract as little attention as possible, and Luke followed suit. For a moment, we just sat there in the dark, listening.
I thought I would be
And
like, at
then
least I finished a half today. I was
I
like,
heard
yeah,
a
the half
voice.
of the painting is gonna be done today, 100%.
Hello?
And then I will have another half that I can finish myself. No, I can't even
Clear
finish
as
one
day.
corner. Why is
The
this
voice
so
of a
much
person was
work?
calling to us from outside our house. Hello? Anyone in there? It asked, its tone far too nonchalant for someone weathering the full brunt of a blizzard. I need some help out here. Next to me, Luke shifted as though he were about to stand up. I reached out and grabbed a hold of his arm, grabbing Tony and pulling Luke back down to the floor. There wasn't a chance in hell I was about to let him investigate the voice. It was so strangely quiet that I could hear the crunching of footsteps in the snow as the person moved outside. "Please," the voice said. It had gotten closer, like it was circling the house. "Please, I really need help. Can I just come in for a minute? It's so cold out here." My grip tightened on Luke's arm. The complete lack of emotion in the voice's tone sending a chill up my spine. He reached over, holding my hand in his as the source of the voice moved even closer. "Come on now. Don't you have room for one more?"
Who would
He
actually
was
let
right outside the
someone
dining room
in the
window.
middle of the night?
I closed my eyes like
You
a
know,
coward,
even if someone's
not
dying,
wanting
I'll
to
be like,
see
no.
whatever it was
You
about
either
to
survive
step
until
into
the
view.
morning and then I maybe see what I can do,
Next to me,
or you just die
there was
here.
a
I
single,
don't care.
sharp intake of breath. For what felt like an eternity, neither of us
Yeah, I
moved.
didn't realize how big it would be. I
And
was like,
then
yeah,
there was
it's
a
a
light
good painting,
chuckle
like
from
it's a good
outside the
poster
window.
size, right? You would be like, yeah, it's a
There were more
like perfect
footsteps,
poster for the wall.
but this time,
I
they
didn't
were
realize
moving away
when you
from
have
us,
to make it, it's
and
it's
they
not
seemed to be
gonna be as
taking the
perfect.
silence with
I should have
them.
avoided the small one. There was a
The
small
wind
option.
remembered itself, returning with a howling vengeance in the visitor's absence. Luke's hand had gone slack in mine, but I held on to it for a long time, sitting there with my eyes shut tight.
I also have only one. They sent me only one of
It must
these.
have been an hour
I thought maybe
before
I can ask
dared
my
to
sister to
open my
help, but
eyes
like then
and
again,
breathe
I only
normally
have one.
again.
Unless I buy more.
"Are you okay?" I finally asked. No response. I tried asking again, a little louder,
Wish I had more of
and
these
still,
little
my
things
husband didn't
with
respond.
the diamonds in.
"Luke?" When I clicked on the flashlight, I saw Luke staring at the window, his face twisted into an expression of horror I'd never seen before. His skin was pale, and his body was rigid as a corpse. And try as I did, I couldn't get him to respond to me in any way. His look of sheer terror never once changed, even as I
now
carried him to the
need
car
a lot of
and drove
L's,
us as fast as I could to the hospital.
D's, a lot of things.
The
Start
doctor
with
said
L's, I guess.
it was a stroke.
He died?
Of course, I was incredulous
Thinking.
that such a thing could happen to my fit, non-smoking 29-year-old husband. But no one could offer me a better explanation. For the next few days, I waited for a recovery that never came. Then, the days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and the months into years. While Luke regained some very minimal motor
Wait, he
control,
survived.
blinking and twitching
I
his
thought he
fingers,
died.
it was clear that he would never be the same. I became his full-time caretaker, spending my days attending to all of his needs and my nights praying that he would make a miraculous recovery. As of this evening, 5 years have passed since the storm. Old Rigatoni is still alive and kicking somehow, and her visits always seem to make Luke perk up just a little bit. She's sleeping on his chest as I tell this, taking care of him in her own way. I'm glad to have her around, but even though I try not to be superstitious, her presence always brings me back to the night of the blizzard. I think about Tucker, who ran away after the storm passed and was never seen again. I think about the marten and the mice and the bear, and the way all of them acted like they were fleeing from something terrible. I think about the look on Luke's face, and I can't help but wonder if they all saw the same thing. Maybe Luke saw something he wasn't meant to, something that his brain had destroyed itself trying to comprehend. I look at my husband, the love of my life, and can't help but mourn what was taken from me that night. If I had opened my eyes, if I'd been brave enough to look, would I have met the same fate? "What did you see?" I ask him, like I have 1,000 times before. I never get an answer.
So what did he see? We'll not find out.
Most Uber
I hate those
drivers
kind of
serve a
stories.
wide variety of customers. Some probably have never seen the same person more than once. But I've been serving the same person for almost a year now. At first, it was a coincidence. He lived relatively close to me, so when I accepted the ride and picked him up, he, for some reason, seemed relieved that someone had come. Then,
My lights
saw
are
why.
lights are flickering. What's happening?
his route was a 4-hour ride all the way to the nearby seaside town, a town often visited in the summer months, but he was heading there in late autumn. I figured people cancelled on him once they saw the route, so my accepting it gratified him. I needed the money, so I figured it was worth the time. He was quiet the whole car ride and never spoke as he left, not even a thank you for making this absurd trip. And being new to Uber, I started to realize why experienced riders would decline such a route. I was stuck in the town with barely anyone doing anything since it was outside of peak activity. I made a few routes for some locals, trying to scrape some extra cash before heading back, but it was nowhere near the rates of the city where I lived. Dejected, I was ready to head back when I saw a ding near where I dropped the guy off. I accepted, and to my surprise, it was him. The route was to take him back home. Another 4-hour ride, which would make the day's profits far higher than if I'd done a whole day in the city. Ecstatic at the thought,
19.
I drove him back again in complete silence until I dropped him off and
Where did I
called it a
put
day.
it? It was just here.
Overall, it was a strange sequence of events, and at the time, one I did not want to repeat. Until I saw the tip. He had left a hefty 30% tip on top of the already expensive ride, both ways.
I can still
For
see
someone
the way
struggling for money, this was a godsend. When I accepted a route the next day and went to the location, I was surprised to see that it was him again. The route was readying for a 4-hour ride back to the seaside town. It was obviously strange that he would go so far yet again, 2 days in a row. But knowing what he was paying, I accepted again. This time, I didn't even bother doing any of the local routes there. I just hung around and grabbed a drink with the app open, the map hovering where I dropped him off. And, like clockwork, around 2 hours later, a ding popped.
I like red more.
I quickly finished the drink
is a
and
little more
accepted the
fun
ride,
than just white.
and it was him, ready to go home. I relaxed when I finished my shift, and lit up when I saw that yet again he dropped a 30% bonus on top. The next day, when I started my routine of checking the app, I was doubtful that he would want to go there again. It was preposterous that he even went twice like that, but a lingering hope in the back of my head made me check if there were any routes around where I picked him up. And my jaw dropped when I saw one there, exactly where I usually picked him up. This set my routine for the next few months. Every weekday, I would start up my app at around 8 AM, drive into the town, wait around 2 hours, and then drive him back. Each time getting a juicy 30% tip on top.
Juicy.
God knows if he did this on the weekend with someone else, but I was not going to do this 7 days a week. I'm not a very talkative person, but I sometimes try to start a conversation, but I'm just met with silence. I even tried to
Was it the
offer
last
my
L?
personal number, in case he wanted to do this outside of Uber, so they wouldn't scrape their fees from the payment
Yeah, that was the
and
last
make it
one.
cheaper for him. But no, he would just look out the window and watch the roadside, eyes glazed over, lost in thought.
Good night,
So,
Wonderful.
when he
Have a good
finally
night.
spoke,
I think after this story, I'm gonna
I
want to
nearly
finish.
jumped.
I'm too tired. My back hurts.
"The town means a lot to me," he said.
I'm gonna bring my maid outfit though.
His voice sounded like
Probably for
someone who had
Valentine's
just
Day, I
woken
should
up,
do the maid outfit
making me
again.
wonder if this was the first time he'd spoken to anyone in a
Try to
long
finish this
time.
part.
I froze, but didn't want to pass up the opportunity of knowing more.
D's
So,
or H's?
I asked why.
H's. There's a lot of H's.
He opened up about his connection to the place, that he used to go there often, and now that he was no longer working, just wanted to spend his days there. I asked him if he was retired. He said that he wasn't, but that he lived off of passive income that supported his lifestyle. It was intriguing learning
Hi,
about his
Cinder,
unique
welcome.
circumstances,
How are you doing?
and despite the long ride, we
Hello.
soon neared the location, and he quietened up.
How's your day going?
On the way home, he talked about the things he liked there. The local ice cream shop that made their own flavors, the bike rentals that let you see the scenes in good time. The corpse I shopped around was suddenly animated to life with nostalgia. He even recommended places for me to go, somehow knowing that I now waited for his ride back. I dropped him off with a smile, excited to learn more the day after. When I got home, my eyes widened when I checked the Uber app. He slammed me with a 50% tip, far exceeding what he had tipped before. I almost wanted to return it, but I didn't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. It helped me so much with my financial issues, and he seemed to have an endless source of income to have supported this strange lifestyle. The day after, I tried asking him more questions. I was curious about more of the local experiences and his connection to them.
I'm good, thank you.
Despite having been there so
been
much,
doing this for a
I
while
knew
now.
next
So
to nothing
tired.
about the place. But I was only met with stone-cold silence. It was like he had reverted back to how he was, just solemnly looking out the window the whole ride. The way back was all the same. It seemed he had expended his burst of social energy and fell back into his usual routine. I tried again the day after and was met with more silence. The tips reverted back to 30%. Nothing to scoff at, but short of the big payday I was after. A while went by like this. A silent ride there, a silent ride back, sandwiched between visiting the few spots he recommended, which were just as good as he had hyped them up to be. Yet, despite visiting all the places he mentioned, he would never be there. Maybe it was a coincidence. We would always miss each other, having gone to different spots. The time only allowed me to see one, maybe two, depending on where I went. But after weeks of this, surely we would have lined up at least once. I was jolted again in the middle of a midweek drive. He broke the silence with another
That's all
nugget of
ages.
information. I go there to see my wife, he said
What was
bluntly.
age? 16.
This answer raised so many questions. Long distance is often almost entirely reserved for young people or people who cannot afford to move in together, but he was neither of those. Before I could ask him about it, he went on.
It's a glass of wine, Cinder.
He spoke
Enjoy.
of how much he loved seeing her, describing how she looked. Middle-aged, full blonde hair with a button nose, slender but not too slim. He was infatuated, glowing as he spoke. Not only animated, but happy.
Is it?
A sharp
Sevens.
contrast
There's
to
a
how
bunch
he
of
usually
sevens here.
seemed. So much so that I didn't want to
7, 1,
interrupt him
5.
with my
It's a
curious,
5.
yet benign questions. Sadly, he only started talking near the end of the trip, so by the time an opportunity came up to ask him my questions, we were pulling up to his stop. I waited around, too curious to do much in the town, only grabbing some food and waiting with excitement. After spending so much time with him, I was invested
God,
in his
this
story,
stupid mask
only
hair.
drip fed to me in
It's
rare
so
times.
annoying. I can't see it.
When I got the ping, I hurriedly picked him up,
Ah!
my mouth
Why does this
bursting with
mask
the
have
questions I
hair?
had bottled up. I tried to
Can I pull it
broach
out
the topics
somehow?
calmly. I asked him why they lived apart, why he didn't just live in the
Okay.
town, and why they only see each other for such a small window each day.
Which one is it? Is it 5?
I did so as politely as possible, but was only met with a silence I was all too familiar with. When I got home, I had 2 amounts for the trips. A 50% tip on the way there,
Fine.
and only 30% for the way back. A curious hint about how he wanted things. On the plus side, I was able to start living how I wanted. The first thing I reinvested in was a new car. I was spending so much on fuel, so to get something more economical was basically an investment, though the luxury extras were me treating myself. Then I felt too scruffy to be seen in the thing, so I even got some nice new clothes, standout brands that would make it look like I didn't just steal the car from the lot.
Turn
It
around!
took a good few months
Why
before he
don't they
spoke
turn
again.
around? Okay.
I was scared my probing questions had offended him, but when he spoke, he dropped some heavy information, answering my questions as if I'd only just asked them. The reason we don't live together is
Because she's
because she
dead.
died,
Yes.
he said dejectedly.
No, you don't have to
My
turn around.
heart
It's okay.
sank. This answered a surprising amount of my questions. The whole bizarre routine started to make more sense. There was a saddening twist to the tale that was being drip-fed to me.
It's okay.
He
You
told me
should
stories of their time together,
train your other eye.
that she
You know
was with
the
him
your
from
eye
rags
on
to
your
riches, and that despite making
on the back
something
of your
out of
head.
himself,
Train that eye.
he's sad that he cannot share the fruits of their labor together. This explained why he frivolously spent on Ubers every weekday just to keep up this ritual. This time, he talked almost the entire 4-hour ride there. He shared personal details about their relationship, the ups and downs, the things he didn't realize he'd miss until she was gone. It was touching and really progressed me emotionally for when I finally meet someone worth sharing my life with.
That's it.
When he
That's
exited
all the
the
5s.
car,
Why did
he
they use so
shared
many
one
then?
piece of final wisdom. It's the routines that matter. Make sure you keep up a good routine. This way, you never forget what happened. It was cryptic enough to apply to many things. I chose to hold on to it and to hopefully fully know the meaning of this proverb. The ride back was silent, but in a good way, resting in the good energy of openness. I got home to a 50% tip both ways, and I felt content that we finally had a rapport. The day after, I asked him more questions about his wife.
Now I need ones.
He seemed more animated and alive when talking about her, so I hoped that I could breathe some new sense of purpose for him. Even if it meant I would lose out on this amazing Uber gig, I would feel content to see him relive his life. However, when I looked back in the rearview mirror, he was looking out the window, silent like before. I tried to probe
He's
once
just an
more.
introvert.
but
Sometimes
we
he
were
wants to talk,
back
sometimes he
to our usual
doesn't.
routine.
I would be so annoyed
The
if he was a
following weeks
taxi
were the
driver. I would
same.
be like, what is wrong with you? Can you shut up?
Each time I thought I had made enough progress to get to know him, he closed up. It was only when I tried to start conversation, so I noted that it always had to be him, no exception. So I waited, and eventually, the day came when the silence was once again broken. 1 week from now will be the anniversary, he muttered. My heart sank, but this was just the beginning of the heart-wrenching details. he told me how things happened from his perspective. He said they went to the seaside town for a few days, booked a nice hotel, and planned to spend a few days there just to relax. It was the start of autumn, but it was also their anniversary. They didn't care that it would be cold and that it would basically be a ghost town. They just wanted to share their special day together in the place that
My
meant the
neck
most to them.
hurts.
This touching scenario was ripped from my gut as he explained what actually happened. They were walking near
You
the
should
pier.
drown.
It was early afternoon, broad daylight, when he lost sight of her while distracted for
If
only
she
a
drowned, you owe
moment.
me money.
There weren't many people around, and not many places she could have gone. Yet despite this, he couldn't find her afterwards. He looked nearby, and when that didn't work, he checked places they usually went to. He even went back to the hotel to see if she had maybe forgotten something and went back. Empty. He couldn't believe she had
Did
just
she just
vanished,
disappear?
so he waited around spots
No,
they
she definitely
frequented,
drowned, right?
occasionally switching locations to see if she'd be there. When it started getting dark, he reluctantly called the police to file a report. He was assured she was probably lost,
What's wrong with
not
it,
being
one?
local and all, and that this happened often. So they sent out a few search parties to check around. But days went by, and nothing was found. It was only after a week that she was found, and hearing it was like a punch in the gut.
Drowned.
She was found, floating below the pier.
I knew that.
Despite the scenario that she had maybe fallen in, evidence showed she was abducted and brought back there. Foul play was immediately ruled
Oh,
in,
maybe she didn't drown. Well,
The
she
sea washed
was
away
found
all
in the water.
forensics,
That's the important part.
so it was already a cold case. I was devastated hearing this. Yet despite this, he held a hopeful smile, maybe clinging on to the cherished memories rather than the grim ending. But this story was followed by a request. The next Wednesday was going to be their anniversary date. He asked that I be around to make sure I could take him to the seaside town. Without hesitation, I wholeheartedly agreed. I even offered my personal number in case something happened, but he politely declined. The ride home was silent, but with an air of solemn optimism. A hope lingered in the air. No words were exchanged, nor did they need to be. I now felt I was doing something bigger than myself, a duty to the karma of the universe. When I got home, I checked the app and was hit with an 80% tip both ways.
80%?
A
Might as well
hint
pay
that
him
said to
twice
make
at this
sure
point.
I was ready on Wednesday. And I was. When I picked him up, I was surprised. From the cocoon of a dreary middle-aged man emerged a dapper gentleman. He wore an elegant long black peacoat over a suit that wasn't too formal, but definitely stood out.
I think he
The
actually
day
killed
was
her
chilly,
himself.
so his hands sat in nice fur-lined leather gloves. This was the sharpest
Is it
contrast from what I'd seen
32?
in the many months I'd been with him. I felt like an underdressed chauffeur rather than an Uber driver. I smiled without a chauffeur hat to tip and proceeded to the town. The silence was pleasant this time around, lingering with a sense of hope and wonder. I fully believed that he was there to enjoy the memories of his time with his departed wife, and I smiled the whole ride, hoping he got what he wanted from this endeavor. This time, he spoke on the way back. I did it. It was exactly like before, he yelled animatedly. He described doing everything like he remembered, that it was just like before, and that he felt a strong connection to her. He even said he might be able to move on, which stung a little, the thought that this routine could come to an end. But he topped it off with a feeling that this routine made him too happy and that for the foreseeable future, this will continue. When I got home, I was met with his biggest tip yet. 100%. I was happy, he was happy. It was the best day of my life, living it
It's so
vicariously
satisfying.
through this interesting
I
man
missed one
I
scene
became
here.
acquainted with. The rest of the week was
Let me
silent
see.
bliss.
What
Each
is
day
it?
he'd tip 100%
I love it.
both ways, his new standard for my dedication to his routine. I relaxed on the weekend, sitting back in a nice restaurant, a multiple course meal lined up. A far cry from the ramen I'd become accustomed to
Hey,
many
ramen
months
tastes
ago.
great.
I had started living my life,
Me too.
not just because of the generous source of income, but to strive to be more like my inspirational passenger. Until my phone dinged with a notification. It was the weekend, so it couldn't be Uber. And when I checked, I saw it was a news notification. I'd spent
Get
so
news
much time in the
notifications.
seaside town that I sometimes got news notifications from the area, my phone's location thinking I reside there. It was an emergency notification
Oh, okay.
about a missing person. The picture looked familiar, yet it was someone I'd never seen before. Middle-aged, full blonde hair and a button nose, slender but not too slim. It wasn't someone I'd seen before, but it was someone I remember having imagined, almost exactly how the man described his late wife. The details chilled me. She went missing in the early afternoon, near the pier.
Oh
No
no.
other details were known,
He killed her,
just
didn't
that they
he?
were still currently looking for a whereabouts. My heart sank. He didn't just say the day went well. He said it went exactly like before.
Oh, he killed the similar
It
looking
didn't take
girl.
a genius to piece together what might have happened. He was a man of routine, and I guess this constituted as his new ritual. But as I looked at the food in front of me, the new car outside, and the nice clothes I could finally afford,
And yeah,
I couldn't bring myself.
maybe he's a murderer,
turn
but
him
that's
in.
fine. He's giving you money.
I live under the
Cute.
greatest horror known to man, the Homeowners Association. The scrutiny of their esoteric rules is benign only to them.
Okay, I think that's enough.
You
Wait.
may hear tales of HOAs that are sticklers to strict laws, but let me tell you that mine is far worse.
Okay. I'm too tired. I think that's gonna be it. I will try to finish it off stream. I still want to finish this painting though. Probably off stream though. That's a load. I probably won't do this again on stream. This is tiresome and I can't really do much. But yeah, thank you very much for coming. I'm gonna use the maid outfit again for the Valentine's Day stream, so like in a few weeks. Thank you. I will actually go eat my omurice and probably make it warm first. Good night everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for keeping me company while I'm doing this. One day it's gonna be a fully finished thing and maybe even on my wall. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Wait, I should rate someone. Is anyone live? Thank you, Toto. Thank you, Sig. Thank you, Mixes Up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Let's see who I can read. I'll still work on this just a little. After a little rest. I'm glad I did some at least. Like, I did the whole corner. You should be proud of me. Be proud of me. I also make food. I made food. for you to look at. I'll post my boob omurice in Discord. Let's read Kaya, I guess. I don't think anyone else I know is live. Yeah, let's read Kaya. How long has he been streaming? Quite a while, actually. Thank you! Thank you! Be proud of me. Okay, I'm starting a raid. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow... It says that tomorrow is the afternoon while playing with Huster. We'll see. Yeah, there's a raid message if you want to stay for the raid. I'll see you, everyone. Have a good day. Rest well, eat well, sleep well. Do something well. Bye.